Revelation 17:9-13 The beastly war mark. Revelation 17:9-13. 9 Here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains upon which the woman sits, 10 and they are 7 kings, 5 have fallen, 1 is, the other has not yet come, and when he comes, he must remain a little while. 11 The beast which was, and is not, is himself also an 8th and is one of the 7, and he goes to destruction. 12 The 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but they receive authority as kings with the beast for 1 hour. 13 These have one purpose, and they give their power and authority to the beast. The spiritual prophetic words of Revelation give a child of God wisdom, just like other parts of the Holy Bible. The wisdom of Revelation 17:9-13 tells us the mountains are kingdoms, nations, or countries of the world. That could mean China, Israel, Russia, the USA, or New Zealand. Even if they allow religion or say they are one nation under God, all leaders want to benefit themselves, so the Lord is not really a part of their plan. The Antichrist and beast know this, and they take advantage of it. That was the idea of Nimrod and his purpose of building Babylon and other nations of the ancient world, to make people depend on government rather than God. Genesis 10:8 Now Cush fathered Nimrod, he became a mighty one on the earth. 9 He was a mighty hunter before the Lord, therefore it is said, like Nimrod a mighty hunter before the Lord. 10 In the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. 11 From that land he went to Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth-ir, Calah. 12 And reasoned between Nineveh and Calah, that is the great city. 13 Mizraim fathered Ludim, Anamim, Laabim, Naphtuhim. 14 Pathrusim, Casluhim, from whom came the Philistines, and Caphtorim. 15 Canaan fathered Sidon, his firstborn in Heth. 16 The Jebusite, the Amorite, the Girgashite. 17 The Hivite, the Archite, the Sinite. 18 The Arvadite, the Zemarite, and the Hamathite, and afterward the families of the Canaanite were spread abroad. 19 The territory of the Canaanite extended from Sidon going toward Gerar, as far as Gaza, and going toward Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim, as far as Lasha. 20 These are the sons of Ham, according to their families, according to their languages, by their lands and by their nations. 21 Also to Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, and the older brother of Japheth, children were born. 22 The sons of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Arpachshad, Lud, and Aram. 23 The sons of Aram were Uz, Wool, Gether, and Mash. 24 Arpachshad fathered Shelah, and Shelah fathered Eber. 25 Two sons were born to Eber. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. 26 Joktan fathered Almodad, Shalef, Hazarmaveth, Jerah. 27 Hadoram, Uzal, Teklah. 28 Obal, Abimael, Sheba. 29 Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All of these were the sons of Joktan. 30 Now their settlement extended from Mesha going toward Sephir, the hill country of the east. 31 These are the sons of Shem, according to their families, according to their languages, by their lands, and according to their nations. 32 These are the families of the sons of Noah, according to their descendants, by their nations, and out of these the nations were separated on the earth after the flood. When the words of Jesus grew out of the work of his disciples and apostles, the religion of Christianity grew. Many people love the gospel message of Jesus, but they also love the pagan tradition they practice. So, out of the biggest nation, the Roman Empire grew in the Holy Roman Empire or Catholic Church. Most European nations had kings and queens. Despite that, the Pope was acting as a religious leader. Many Europeans wanted Jesus but not the false pagan religion of the Antichrist teaching of the papacy. With the invention of the printing press, the Bible was growing, but God's word is like fire, and even the beast could not stop it from spreading. Many reformers call the Pope the Antichrist, but as they separated, they still copied some pagan tradition the papal church created. When the New World was discovered, religious freedom began. The United States of America made their country a nation that practices separation of church and state. This means the rulers of the USA could tell none of its citizens how to worship, or they didn't have worship if they did not want to. This is the freedom the nations of China, North Korea, and Iran don't allow, but its people wish they could. Out of all current nations, the USA, the youngest, most influential Christian nation there is, even if it calls itself one nation under God, the liberal views of the Bible allow the evils of sin to be all acceptable. America does what is right in its own eyes, and now the current Pope of the Catholic Church is bending its doctrine so that it in USA can work as one. As tragedies like the September 11, 2001 terrorist attack, the COVID-19 pandemic, or even the so-called threat of global warming, nation and religion will work together. So why couldn't the Roman Catholic Church, the USA, combine powers to lead the world's nations to make global peace? Many people fear the COVID-19 vaccine, scared it is the mark of the beast, but it's not. It is more of a religious mark of authority of who or what a person follows or obeys. A person is a bondservant of God or something else, the devil, the government powers, or themselves. When God has seen enough, Jesus will crush the fake mountains of the beast, and his kingdom will take over and last forever. God bless you all. Jesus, the ruler of all nations, loves you, and so do I. His bondservant Samuel J.H. Daniel 7:20. In the meaning of the 10 horns that were on its head, and the other horn which came up, and before which 3 of the horns fell, namely, that horn which had eyes and a mouth, uttering great boast, and which was larger in appearance than its associates. 21. I kept looking, and that horn was waging war with the saints and prevailing against them. 22. Until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was passed in favor of the saints of the highest one, and the time arrived when the saints took possession of the kingdom. 23. This is what he said: the fourth beast will be a fourth kingdom on the earth, which will be different from all the other kingdoms, and will devour the whole earth and trample it down and crush it. 24. As for the 10 horns, out of this kingdom 10 kings will arise, and another will arise after them, and he will be different from the previous ones, and will humble 3 kings. 25. And he will speak against the Most High and wear down the saints of the highest one, and he will intend to make alterations in times and in law, and they will be handed over to him for a time, times, and half a time. 26. But the court will convene for judgment, and his dominion will be taken away, annihilated, and destroyed forever. 27. Then the sovereignty, the dominion, and the greatness of all the kingdoms under the whole heaven will be given to the people of the saints of the highest one. His kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom, and all the empires will serve and obey him.